Alright, welcome back. Let's get everybody invited. Doo-doo-doo. Alrighty. Nice and situated. Okay, so, a man on waterlock. Good day, officers. A burly man hangs out by the waterlock, carving up a generous serving of salami with an old hunter's knife. His eyes are fixed on a man stranded on the other side of the waterlock, and on an enormous billboard that has fallen down into the canal between them. Do you know what caused the wreckage? I wasn't here to witness it, but those look like tire tracks on that sign. Weird, huh? Then again, plenty of daredevil roads on Rivachal. The words daredevil driver sound ominous to you. Too bad it also takes a year and a day to repair anything around here, especially a water lock. The rest of the coast is closed off till then. Can I have some of that salami? Sure thing. Thanks. Want some too, officer? Why not? He takes some and he has a little bite. Do you know what's further down the coast? Well, there's a fishing village, an abandoned fish market, a Bazaro church, not much use to the congregation though. There always seems to be something wrong with it. Yeah, not really else, just bombed out ruins. Alright, see ya. A helpline to the company that controls the drawbridge. What's this? Pile of clothes. There are clothes inside. Cheap second-hand clothes smelling of strangers' body odors.
Don't be shy. These are premium class clothes. Good quality fabrics, best retro design. Save the economy with your style, officer.
Uh-huh. Save the economy. That sounds off. Save the economy? What are you talking about? Haven't you heard, officer? We've got to be economically conscious. Recycle your cash. Keep it in circulation. Don't buy new things. Buy eco. That doesn't make any sense. Why exactly does the economy need saving? Look around, officer. You see all these premium goods just sitting there, not getting bought? We've got to keep the flow of goods moving. Is this really the economy we want to leave to our children? It's just nature. Powerful economies expand, weak economies go extinct. I can't go extinct, officer. I've got kids to feed. Once an economy goes extinct, it messes up the whole ecosystem. You gotta think about the consequences. Alright, let's look at the box. You find your hands deep in the tattered, faded garments made from weird polyester blends that make your body itch and sweat in all the wrong places. Economical, but also trendy. Look firsthand, buy secondhand, keep the economy moving. Find something worth salvaging. Oh fuck! No good, all you come up with some treated wool pants. You can tell they're too tight around your thighs and too loose around the waist. Touch them. They itch like hell, like an itch pit in hell. All natural materials, see? Real wool, 100% skin friendly, and they're only yours, and they're yours for $2. No. It's for nothing. Wow, you work hard. I do? Oh yes, you hustle. You're a provider. It's tough out there, but you keep it real and provide. I guess I do. Yeah. Oh yeah, like a horse. A workhorse. For hard work. What hard work do I do exactly? Look at yourself. You're a human pedometer. You must have walked 200,000 steps down cracked asphalt, mosaic sand, and linoleum after you re-emerged. That is the sign of a hustler, who never gives up. The world is harsh and people are evil. You didn't make it that way, and you won't let it break you. You ride. I fucking ride till I die, bitch. That's just what it's like, life and death, but you got gills on your side, baby. You got those black papers with the faces of innocence on them. You bring in the... you bring in the what? Franco-Negros and the Solas. It ain't easy, but you do it. Day in and day out. You didn't make the rules, but you won't lose. You're a cop and a sprinter and a money printer. You could say I took some money from that Manana guy, too. You didn't log that in as a donation either. You don't log any of that shit in. You're a straight rider. Oh, and there's pawning stuff off to that suspicious Roy guy. Yeah, you're in a sales business. Shake 'em for shit and they pawn it off. Law officer style. I guess I made some gills, sure. Sure. Has it been easy? Is life easy? Have you not gone into cardiac arrest? Are you not about to have an anxiety attack or shoot yourself in the mouth? But you still hustle, 24/7, ride or die. Now ask yourself, are you rich? Yeah. Get out of here, you're a pauper. You work harder than anyone, almost rode yourself to the grave and you're still practically a hobo. Why is that? Let's see. It's because of that Gart guy riding my ass. That Gart man has set himself up for one of those self-replicating money structures. You should learn from it. Don't play the victim. Think, hustler. Think with your head. The system's broken? Boo-hoo, the system is broken. The establishment is keeping me down. That's not the fuck yeah attitude you're used to. What is this? Why are you so poor? There's a market for corrupt cops out there, but the immigrant crops have price dumped it. Look, the immigrants are cool. The immigrants play cool music. Oops. Everyone likes them, especially the women. Don't hate on the immigrants. They've got nothing to do with you living under a boat. Fucking taxes, man. That's right. 100%. Fucking G-Man's got his jam-covered sticky fingers in your pocket, stealing from you every time you buy, sell, walk, talk, fart, so much as sneeze. Aren't taxes almost non-existent in a gossamer state that is Revachol? I thought there were no taxes. You and I both, but they got those indirect modes of taxation. Sales tax, excise duty, extraction tax, this tax that doesn't even have a name. Plus there's stuff people in other countries pay for that makes them ask for more money from you here. The Gossamer State's a myth. In total, the coalition government is taking 98% of all your money. No fucking way! I guess I'm a free market fundamentalist now. Oh. Here you go, hustler. Here you go, hustler. Fight the righteous fight. Free the people. Keep it real. Keep it street. Keep foaming at the mouth furiously on the tax issue. First, if you have a side bitch ideology cooking somewhere, fighting indirect taxation for the Gossamer estate is compatible with all creeds. It's cool like that. You're a cool anarchist now. Unless you don't want to be an anarchist. Whatever. Stuff this meal ticket in your eye socket and let's see if we can steal some love back into the robber barons at the customs agency and the banditos at the Insulindian Financial Oversight and Competition Committee. else we got here? Keep looking. Maybe someone else knows something. Sure. What else we got here? Box of sunglasses.
You like sunglasses, officer? I've got the latest styles right here.
Sure, I'll try them on. Abort, these are hideous. What's more, they don't even fit your face. You can feel them pinching your nose and chafing against your brow. Damn, officer, you look like a mega secret spy. Very secret. They're practically made for you. I'll let you have them for $250. No, you're definitely not buying those. The lieutenant gently removes the glasses from your face, setting you free again. Don't tell me what to do, Kim. I like those sunglasses. No, I can't. We can't walk around with you looking like this. His hand has already risen midair, but he stops. Okay, fine. Go ahead. If you want to look like a walking midlife crisis, then who am I to interfere? These are all boring third-rate ho-hum sunglasses made of cheap plastic, the kind of plastic that melts in the sun. Those UV stickers are almost certainly there for show. If anything, those lenses probably direct more UV light into your pupils. A UV magnifier.
The shine on those sunglasses lasts a lifetime, officer.
Hey, Lamar.
100% guaranteed.
1 second. Ah, I see. A pair of water blue shades. The writing on the left temple says Sub-Insulindic Rendezvous. The frame appears to be hand-carved out of bone. Oh, very interesting choice, officer. Very high culture. For the first time, the street vendor's voice trails off as he watches you inspect the glasses. This is how a sea monster sees the world. You become a sea monster, giant, hidden, and strangely tender at heart. All's blue. Yes, but they also make your soul quiver like jello. So deep. Wow, officer, you look cool. The street vendor has picked up his pace again as you observe the world through deep sea-tinted lenses. And they can be yours for a mere 3 rail. My regular customers have passed them all up because they've got no taste, but you found them. Kim, what about these? The lieutenant tilts his head and steps back, eyes narrowed in a thorough examination. It's a case to him. You look like a musician, like a blind musician, but you could do worse. Take them if you want. Alright, what else we got? Sneakers. Sneakers on a pedestal of speakers. You see 2 lowly defeated sneakers, thralls, slaves basically. Perched atop them, like conquerors surveying the land, a pair of fallen over. Oh, I see.
I can see you have a taste for luxury, officer. Can't keep your eyes off those sneakers?
The pair of Fallen Ultras, the design is impossibly sleek and simple, a futuristic silhouette with a sleek monochrome colorway, a jet black upper and a silver-lined midsole. Those sneakers, mister, those sneakers are the latest Fallen sneakers. Super rare, super fine, super cool, only $50. Only? That's madness. Fallen Ultra? Fallen or Ultra, wear the future. You remember the slogan from some magazine. These once respectable sneakers have been conquered, reduced by a mere prop by the indomitable Fallen Ultras atop them. No, don't look at the speakers, officer. Look at the sneakers. The man points to the footwear. The sneakers are the star here. But I already looked at the sneakers. Then look at them again. These are premium lifestyle sneakers, officer, the best on the market. Can't I just buy the sad conquered Samarin speakers? No, why, officer, those aren't for sale. They're bad speakers, lo-fi socialist junk. That's why I want them. I think I might be a lo-fi socialist junk myself. No, officer, you're a high-class policeman who accepts nothing less than the best. Lucky for you, I got the best on sale. You don't know what I am. I don't even know it myself. I want the speakers. Well, if you want them. But see, they are the pedestal for my sneakers. If I let the speakers, where will the sneakers go? I can't leave premium lifestyle sneakers on the ground. If, on the other hand, you wanted to buy the sneakers too, I can maybe throw in the speakers for a little extra, 50 cents. Damn, so you have to buy the sneakers first. Hey, psst. Who, me? Yes, you. Word on the street is you're ready to start building communism again. Again? Yes, you're ready to start building communism again. You've built it before. They've built it before. Hasn't really worked out yet, but neither has love. Should we just stop building love, too? Love has worked out really well for me. I'm a love winner. Good. We need Tindermen like you building gargantuan communism. Word on the street is this going to be 10,000 times larger than any communism previously attempted by human beings. Is that right? How come there's word on the street? You keep saying things like, down with the bourgeois, eat the rich, sodomize the landowners, impale all people who have more than 25 real in their pocket, literally murder all human beings regardless of their political beliefs, that kind of stuff. Alright, that sounds like me. Funky style, very funky. So tell me, do you have any questions before we fire up the big communism builder, or do we get right down to it? It's too tiring. I don't have it in me. I'm beat down and broken. Very well. I guess no one will build communism then. Tell the working man it's over. Unless anyone has any objections. No objections. It's mathematically impossible to achieve a classless society. Everyone knows this. Anyone? Anyone else? There's no one? There's one. What should I do? You should build communism, precisely because it's impossible. No, shut up. I want to lie down and let the water carry me downstream. Alright, guy. The name Sealing is embroidered over his pocket.
Happy shopping, officer. Everything's cool here.
What's so
Everything's cool. The goods are cool, the customers are cool, the place is cool. And one more thing, officer.
cool? No communism? No communism. Fuck communism.
You're very cool.
He makes finger guns and fires them in the air. Uh-oh. You feel a twitch in your index fingers. There's a finger shootout of ruin. Whip him out.
Don't shoot, officer. Have we got an arrest here, or just a shakedown?
A shakedown.
Good one, officer. You're a funny guy. Now, what can I do for you?
Just kidding. I'm really here to shake you down for some answers to official police questions.
Fire away, officer.
Where are you from? Me? It's a boring story, officer. Who cares about the past? I'm all business now. All Revachol. This man probably comes from Sigai, sometimes known as Apricot Suzerainty, an archipelago in the Samarin Isolda. You're from Apricot Suzerainty, right? Calls to mind that place calls to mind an era when the Sige archipelago was colonized by Revachol. It's a bit of a slur, in other words. Don't fret, let him answer. That's right, officer, but it's a bad scene for business there. Too many regulations. Extremely bad for an independent local entrepreneur. Hey, why not support this local entrepreneur? You can start by buying a pair of sexy pants or cool sunglasses, maybe some macaroni. What kind of stuff you selling here? Only the coolest goods in Revachol. I've got sneakers, speakers, extremely comfy pants too. Try them on right here. No shame, only freedom. Where'd you get those comfy pants? I'm an entrepreneur, officer. I've got sources, buyers, suppliers, distributors, manufacturers, wholesalers, all extremely cool and above board. Do you have a permit to sell all that? Good joke, officer. Here we don't have permits, just economic freedom. Take a look around. He takes a deep breath. You glance around at the decrepit buildings, the miserable weather, the sidewalks strewn with sunflower seeds, and the dust-choked air. It's beautiful. Beautiful freedom. Kim, is it true? He doesn't need a permit to sell? It is, yes. Anybody can set up their shop whenever they feel like it. That's right. No permits, no bureaucracy. That's why this city and its law officials are so cool. Wait, but what are we doing here if there are no permits? Look at Kim and the police insignia on his sleeve. If you wanted to be cynical about it, then you could say we're here to protect the interests of property holders. I'm not, however. My man, officer, you make all this possible. Without this climate would be extremely bad for business. You're part of the gossamer state. Gossamer is a fine, filmy substance consisting of cobwebs spun by small spiders, seen especially in autumn. It's safe to say he's referring to the near absence of regulations. Let's see. A gossamer state. You're right, this is cool. I'm part of a hip, thin, almost non-existent state apparatus. Yeah, that's the main thing about you. Freedom is great. It's what lets independent entrepreneurs like me sell quality goods at competitive prices. Is there a discount for cool officers like me? No need for discounts at ceilings, officer. Everything's already on sale. Anything you want, 50% off. But did he first mark them at 100% just so he could put them on sale? Are those things really on sale, or did you just jack up the price first? My man, you know how the game is played. You and me, we should work together. What do you think? Shake things up. Wink. Ask for money, huh? Rhetoric. Let's see, do I have any rhetoric pants? -1 to rhetoric. your pistols. You were promised a gun, that much is certain. This is why you become a cop. Yet here you are, loitering around with idle hands like some sorry-ass loser from the street. Suddenly you're supposed to be solving cases by, what, like talking to people? How are they going to believe that you can protect yourself, and them, from savages without a firearm? This ain't right. You need to think around this problem, and you need to snap your fingers at people as you do. Huh. Alright, let's open this hidden compartment, I guess. Or let's not. It's not what you try to open it, but it's not what you end up doing. You squeeze the plastic to slide it open, but nothing happens. Then you bend it some, then crack it. The goddamn thing is stuck.
Everything's still cool here, officer.
Alright, give me some money, guy. Yay! Hey, start with a little compliment, then work your way up from there. This is about business, remember. Hey, you seem like a real successful entrepreneur. Would you like to support a member of the local police force? Oh, okay. The man stops, his face suddenly serious. But why, officer? Think of it as an investment. An investment? What kind of investment? I'm a policeman. It's an investment in good relations with the RCM. He looks you straight into the eye. I hear you, officer. What kind of sum we talking about here? $10. Sounds like a fair deal. The lieutenant nods calmly and says, corruption. It's just like Bus or Siegel. A kid watching out of a window describing things going by. He doesn't like it too much, but what will you do?
Yes?
Alright, where to next? Justice. Hot air rises from the sewer, sour, acidic, and strangely comforting. Alright, well, here we go. The smell is repulsive. It pushes in from your mouth, more instant, more familiar than anything you'd expect. More fever than odor. It fills your mind, flushing you from within. Try to walk away. Too late. It's impossible to keep it in. Your body curls and pushes it out, burst by burst, until a pool of vomit lies at your feet and your throat stings from the stomach acid. I'm sorry. It's okay. Happens to everyone. He hands you a handkerchief. Keep it. Thanks. The hangover is clearly making this worse for you. You could use some ammonia to clear your head. Okay, where do we get ammonia from? That young woman, the gardener, mentioned she used salts for the smell. If she doesn't have any, there might be some in the Fritz store nearby. Having the ammonia as a modifier to the endurance check. Modifiers make checks easier to allow you to retry them.
Hello again, officer. How are things?
Do you still have your salts? I think I could use some. Sure, I'm done with them. Go easy on that stuff, it gives me a headache. I need directions. Ugh, I'm good. Thin glass tube wrapped in cotton netting used to treat fainting spells. This plastic, headless fallen rider sits atop his equally plastic bowl, his posture indicating either desperation or pride. Comes as a set with the infamous found cop tour for which he lost his head. What? That's it? Alright, sure. Oh my lord. Oh no, it worked. Oh wait, no it didn't. The ammonia only makes it worse. The combination forces tears out of your ducts. You manage to keep it in once. The second time, not so much. When the vomiting is done, your cheeks are wet with tears. The ammonia didn't help at all, nor does the wind right now. The weight is reassuring, like a crenel on solid fortification. Pat, pat, pat. I've seen strong men turn themselves inside out for hours. You're facing tough odds here. Alcohol withdrawal makes it considerably harder. Why can't I keep it in if I've been a cop my whole life? I've seen captains puke their guts out. It never gets easier. You never get used to the smell. Every Monday is cadaver day. Throw up, investigate, throw up, initial autopsy, throw up, bag it. Then drive to the station, maybe throw up on the way there if you didn't bag the thing tight enough. You seem to be fine. I think I lost my sense of smell. A white lie. Not being hungover helps too. Do it without me, I just can't keep it down. No, this is a two-man assignment because it needs 2 officers to complete. I need your help. He withdraws his hand and looks at you in the eye. You need to get your shit together. Okay. We should go talk to locals. Find something else to do while the wind changes. It's pretty bad right now. Give it half an hour to get yourself back together, and come back and have another go. What is this? Your shit is apart, and it's rather unbecoming of a cop and a human being. It's supposed to be the opposite of that. Together. compressed in a small area to achieve a solid level of shit compression. Squeeze your butt cheeks together for 30 minutes. Do something similar with the two hemispheres of your brain. Talk to people, maybe that'll help.
Your race descent has only worsened
Oh, yeah.
since the last souls. You have really let yourself go.
Your race descent has only worsened since I last saw you. You really let yourself go. How did this happen? Your little fist is in his giant hand and he's squeezing it. It hurts. You must be out of your mind, degenerate drunk. The pressure on your hand becomes unbearable. Say it. I am a degenerate alcoholic. I'm a cop. Oh, your fist cracks in his hand like a ripe apple. Pain shoots up your brain as he's twisting it more and more. The words to the song have changed. Say, I am a violent drunk. I am a violent drunk. Good. Now leave before you humiliate your homoerotic organization any further.
I'd appreciate it if you didn't force us into situations where we have to shoot random civilians, because that won't get us anywhere.
I'm not even sure what the one bullet my chamber holds would even prick that Hulk. I can't promise that. I might attack him again. The lieutenant groans, but he doesn't say anything. That's right, you should do it again. It's the last thing he'll be expecting.
Nice aggression with the native. Don't let the chief fool you next time. You don't need to be up in his face. Leave yourself space to move.
Not bad advice. Actually, this might do the
Let's
trick.
talk about our right to work.
I need you to be my champion against Jean-Luc up there. No. I'm not a fighter, I'm a worker. Let's see. Well, I took all the tools out of the toolbox. Heh.
Hello again, sweetie.
I decided not to pawn your pin. You can have it back. Thank you. I confess, I'm glad to see it again. What? Old sports magazines. What's back here? You see a set of tattered curtains. A strange cage-like trinket dangles from the curtain.
Excuse me, officer. The back room is strictly for employees only.
Shopkeeper, what's behind the curtains? Nothing. Why aren't you browsing the books? Don't you feel compelled to look at the books? You ought to. She speaks almost as if she's trying to put a spell on you, urging you to buy more books. Oddly enough, the more she tries to draw you away from the curtains, the more alluring they become. Let's look through this. Crime novels. Crime fiction is a disgrace, an asinine misrepresentation of the physical attributes and the arduous everyday work of actual police officers. These books greatly overstate the excitement of police work, glossing over how long it takes to actually follow up on leads and eliminate dead ends. What's more, they completely ignore the psychological hardships of year after year coming in contact with people during the worst days of their lives. Not a single mention of all the stress this work creates upon the officer's family. Detective fiction just doesn't tell the truth at all. Now, would you like to make a list of all the books found on the shelf? Sure. You see Dick Mullen on the Job, Get Me Mullen, The Stalwart Adventures of Richard P. Mullen, Dick Mullen, The Murder of the Orchard, The Sword Affair of Dick Mullen. Oh, a whole lot of books. A killing is declared. Dick Mullen in the Murder House, The Final Case of Dick Mullen, An Obvious Lie. Dick Mullen in the Clock Tower, The Ideals of Dick Mullen, Dauntless Dick. Dick Mullen's Funeral Pyre, The Murder of Dick Mullen. Dick Mullen dies? Oh no, turns out he faked it to solve a case. Are there any more? Yes, there's also The Dame Who Did It. Farewell, my Mullen. Faking death seems to be a common trope in the Mullen series. The Morbid Tales of Dick Mullen. A Dark Tide Turns. Tragedy Calls for Dick Mullen. And of course, Dick Mullen, the murderer. In order to catch a murderer, Dick Mullen must become the murderer. After all this, you still haven't found the answer to one question that matters. Who is Dick Mullen? Who is Dick Mullen? Your quick eye notices a small caterpillar crawling across the spine of a book. The title reads, Dick Mullen and the Mistaken Identity. What do we have here? Mistaken Identity. A worn paperback from the Dick Mullen's classic hard-boiled phase. The premise seems to be that Dick Mullen is framed for the murder of his best friend and has just a few days to prove his innocence. Why does this speak to me? Could it be the motifs of unstable identities and shocking betrayals? That's probably right. I'm a complicated guy, full of contradictions. Then this is the book for you. $8. What else we got? A quaint picture book, very colorful. It's a tome of fascist magic, rather candid. Everyone knows the most interesting thing about fascists was their magic. Biographies. Sure. All their names make your head spin. None of these seem important or relevant. Rapid egoism. Suddenly, a particularly odd title catches your eye. It reads High Speed Love, the tragic true love story of Jacob and someone else. By someone else. High Speed Love chronicles the romance between two of the finest tip-top tourney racers in history. One of them is the madcap driver Jacob. His blonde mane covers the cover. Oh, graces the cover. Next to his life story, you see a slim biography of an Occidental rock star called the Anti-Star. He's famous for shooting morphine into one of his eyeballs and cocaine into the other. Next to that, Ravacholian radio personality Guillaume Bevy stands in front of a rundown drug den. He's a permanent fixture on Channel 8, reporting on real-life crime and ruining cops' days. I really must insist you buy one of the books. You're interrupted by the shopkeep. Reading them is not for free. Do still browse, though, but not too long. She understands she has erred against the customer and immediately corrects course. I'm sorry, I did not mean to rush you. You are browsing. Go ahead, take your time. Time is commerce. Anything of note on this shelf? I would say The Greatest Innocence, yes. Most certainly, it is an important educational tool delving into the depths of history, religion, and the relation to innocentic power. Who or what is an innocence? A very influential historical figure, but surely I don't have to tell you that. She waves her hand as if casting aside the thought. You're a law officer, and law officers have at least some education. The book is also very daring. The author aims to re-examine the universal understandings of the Innocentic system, creating a fresh vantage point and a shift in the tired order of things. So you recommend it? Certainly, it's prudent for a person to have at least an elementary understanding of history and society. Imagine the chaos we'd be in if otherwise. You feel like you should get this one. Definitely, it's important somehow. There's something personal inside. Everything costs money! Several maps have been attached to the bulletin board. Hidden inside the alcove, they're held up by small pins. The board has come loose from one corner. The maps look old and faded. Your eye catches a map of Insulate, a map of Revachol, and a map of Martinez. Let's look at Martinez. It's not really a map, it's a tourist thing, a picture postcard with buildings on it, draw from an isometric perspective. The date in the upper right-hand corner says 48. Still, it's detailed. It could be useful for scouting ahead. You see the jagged boxes of Industrial Harbor, even the whirling and rags there. The north coast of a verdant island is shattered by a delta of a river. It is the river Esperant. Countless bridges put the shards back together, connecting city blocks to river islands. The delta says a great artificial heart in the center, teeming with life forms and construction. To the east, rolling hillsides. Le Jardin, Stella Maris, the suburbs of St. Baptiste, swallowed up into a megacity. They sound rich to you. This is Revachol East. And to the west? Curon. It's somewhere to live, not bad. Then there's Jamrock. It's bad. People shouldn't live there, but they do. Then Faubourg. It's almost as bad, if not, and much larger. Then Coal City, which is the worst. You feel you're just west of Coal City, somewhere above Jamrock, close to Coal City. Can I buy these? I'm sorry, the map of Martinez is the only one available. The only two are not for sale anymore, and besides, you could scarcely afford them. They're quite valuable, though they may not look it. The map of Martinez is 90 cents, though. Why is Martinez so cheap? That old thing? It's an out-of-date map of a tourist location that never was nor came to be. From when some design studio people tried to spruce the place up 4 or 5 years ago, they also renovated the horse statue, set up those coin-operated viewers, and designed the new street lamps. This place does not look like a successful tourist trap, does it? What happened then? They didn't get far. For some reason. A shame the project never got going. It would be nice if someone fixed Martinez up. All those ruins are bad for business. Jesus. Why do they give me an option to steal a fucking penny map? Hiya! Damn it! You move your hand towards the map attached to the board. Before you even reach the map, you're interrupted. Perhaps not. It's against RCM policy to defraud small business owners. Fucking goody two-shoes ass. Another boring book. Just discarded here. Paranormal books. This bookstore is not strictly about crime, romance, and biographies of famous people. There's also a wide range of paranatural literature. Let's see, what do we got in here? We have a book about wholeness, unity, and balance. These three things are very important to the working class mind. The point of the book and many others on this shelf is to give people medicinal advice in situations where they don't have access to paid health services. How does that work? It serves platitudes while also telling everyone that traditional medicine, the kind people don't have access to, and which costs more than this book, is garbage. They will only give you cancer anyway, without even curing your cold or anything. Wholeness, unity, and balance, on the other hand, can basically take care of anything. Though it is important to note, when it's up to your mind to heal yourself, then it's because of your mind that you're ill in the first place. Interesting. Various paranormal books still litter the shelf. What books are these? Sir, please, no browsing that shelf. That wisdom is not for free. I can't have you end up like opening a police store next door and stealing my customers. Oh no. Okay. Interesting. Fucking weirdo. What we got over here? Recipes of Arda. Alright, what's all this? Board games? Sure. Weirel related merchandise. Okay. The endless variety of source books, lore books, and codices litter the table. The topmost book is titled Welcome Compendium 2nd Edition. There's also a large hardbound tome with an intricate cover art, The Hunters of Katuk, Boreal Creature Compendium, and a Pick Your Path adventure game book called Tales of Boreal Cavern of something. Books in a board game section? Who wants to read books? Anything that really catches my eye? There's a box that says Whirl, 3rd edition, Mega Settings, Supplements Module. The side panel notes, a fantastique adventure board game, new maps and miniatures, a sticker on it displays 25 real. That price is steep, but then it's a 3rd edition Mega Settings supplement, so I guess it makes sense. What board games do you have here? Wonderful board games, sir. The Viticulturalist is a classic for sure. Perhaps you'd like Archipelagos of Insulade, a very educational game for those interested in geography. Raubritter is a fun game of economic competition, but can get quite intense after a while. We have games for the whole family, and you can play with your children. Who are you going to play board games with? Do you have any friends or family? Do I have friends? Look at the lieutenant. Are you actually friends, or just colleagues thrown together by circumstance? I don't feel as if I have any kids. Friends are technically like family. She fiddles with her pendant, thinking. For playing with friends, I'd recommend Suzerainty. It's a civilization building game where you can build a civilization, then set off to brutally colonize and repress other civilizations. It'll cost $12. So what are all these whirl things? Lousy auras there, she shudders. No, role-playing games are popular among those types. Who are into those kind of things. Personally, I don't like it, not at all. I've heard they turn people into occult enthusiasts, that they have rituals where they try to summon entities, highly immoral stuff. You can still buy them though. She looks at the table, crossing her arms. Alright, what is this? Oh, I see. Here it is. Hard facts. From the man you are. You once jerked off in a locker room and were caught. You held a young woman by the arm and kept her in your apartment for 20 minutes against her will. That's right, these are not flights of fancy. These are real deeds, Harry, emerging from the darkness of your past. You tried shooting a fleeing suspect in the foot, but you hit him in the pelvis, crippling him for life. And above all, you let life defeat you. All the gifts your parents gave you, all the love and patience of your families, or all the love and patience of your friends, you drowned in a neurotoxin. You let misery win, and it will keep on winning till you die or overcome it. Gift books and molten candy. Man from Helmdell series. Worn paperbacks featuring extremely muscular, sword-wielding barbarian on the cover. Nearly all the titles contain the word Helmdall somewhere. Let's see. Rows and rows of Helmdallermen blur your vision. You make out some titles. Man from Helmdell and the Mammoth Riders. Return to Helmdell and the Sophilistic. Man from Helmdell and the Helmdell Man. Good God, how many of these are there? Maybe 100? Oh Jesus, so many. Man from Helmdell and the False God and the Scorched Earth. The Helmdell Colonies. The Swamp Beast. The Snow Crabs. Is that all? Not even close. Man from Helmdell in Hell. Man from Helmdell in the Forest of Slaves. Man from Helmdell under the lake. Helmdell Burning. There's even The Trial of Death, a pasternal combat game book set in the world of Helmdeller Man, and so much more. Pain threshold low. Do any of these books call out to me? What? A twinge at the back of the head makes you flinch. Your eyes start twitching. Ow! Your hand reaches towards a book with a glossy cover art of a very muscular man from Helmdell in chains. Kneeling in front of a staircase leading to a throne, a woman sits on the throne, leering at the man. She's laughing at him, belittling him. Between the throne and the Helmdeller man lies a bonfire casting shadows on the wall. The shadow of the woman's headdress looks like a pair of devil horns. The title reads, Man from Helmdell and the Devil Woman. Interesting. The display rack before you is burdened under piles of Man from Helmdell novels. I'll buy it later. Got no money. Alright, lady. Spill the beans.
Hello again, esteemed officer, and welcome to Crime,
It tells you
Romance,
right here,
and
$13.
Biographies of Famous People.
Who's the little girl? Annette, yes, my daughter. I hope she wasn't slacking off again at her nose in science fiction. Tell me, was she at her post doing her job like a proper girl? Yeah, it is the money. Yes, of course. Wonderful. Did you talk to her? Yes. Great. On a scale from 1 to 10, how compelled were you to buy books after talking with her? 10. She was certainly very polite and helpful. My precious, her dedication brings joy to my heart. She's immensely satisfied with the answer. If you have any children, I hope they turn out as great as my Annette. Annette is quite the trooper. She's a great value add. As a young girl should be, with the proper attitude, she'll have a bright financial future. Alright, that's it. Farewell, book peddler.
Hello, sir. Step right in. The store is open.
I am the law.
I know, sir. Are you interested in a new and exciting book?
What kind of store is this
It's
anyway?
a bookstore, sir. We sell books, postcards, and some board games. It's called Crime, Romance, and Biographies of Famous People.
Whoa! Whoa, 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 whoa. Hold your horses, little girl. What's a board game?
Board games are like little games on a table, made to pass the time. There are several different ones, but sailors here mostly buy cards.
What is a
A
postcard?
is a small cardboard picture. You can write a few words on the other side and send it to your friend or beloved.
What is a book?
That is a book. They have stories inside them. It's like someone told you a story in a really long letter.
Interesting. Thanks.
My pleasure. Anything else you'd like to know?
Yeah, I want to ask you
Okay,
some
sir.
questions.
I'll try to answer any questions you have. I hope they're about books.
What's your name? My name is Annette, sir. My mom, her name is Plaisance. She owns the store. She's inside minding the register or organizing the stock. The girl gazes at the window, then suddenly jolts, her eyes wide, as if recalling something. Feel free to step in and browse our wares. And you're standing in the cold because? I'm signaling that the store is open. She nods eagerly. Otherwise, people might not know. They might miss out on the crime, romance, and biographies of famous people. I could help by brutally dismantling the free market. Thank you, sir. I'm glad to help Mom out with the store. She doesn't seem to understand what you said. Shouldn't you be at school or something? I do my studies at home at the moment. I have to help my mom keep this place running. Isn't going to school more important than this? Mom says it's necessary to do both because it builds character. Mom says a proper worker is dutiful. That's how you get ahead in life. You succeed. There is stress and unease behind those words. She is reciting etiquette. How's the business going? Mom says it's peachy. She was a little afraid at first. There's talk about this house being cursed. Behind her, the window has been boarded up. You sense the boards creaking, twisting for a second, and then some kind of doubt in her tense shoulders. Cursed in what way? Cursed in a way that makes them say that no business has ever really thrived here, sir. That they all go bankrupt. Exactly. But we've been doing fine so far. This sounds rather serious. I should probably look into this. We can go into the bookstore and ask about the case. I don't see much more to look into here. Yes, please do look at our wares inside. The postcards and board games you asked about are also there, sir. What do you know about other failed businesses? Nothing really, sir. Mom doesn't allow me to sneak around in the back rooms or the cellar. I don't really know what's there. How does the curse manifest itself? It does not manifest itself in any way. It does not exist. I liked it better when we were talking about it, whether it's appropriate to be standing out in freezing weather. But Kim, the plasmic manifestations. No such thing. The lieutenant stands at your side, stern and serious. Stroke your chin. Enough about the curse. For now. Annette looks at your shaved, prickly chin. It distinctly contrasts with the oily mutton chops that surround it. Maybe I can tell you about some of our books instead. See ya.
Hello again, esteemed officer, and welcome to Crime, Romance, and Biographies of Famous People.
The girl outside mentioned that this place is cursed. Cursed? Who said that? Annette? I'll have a word with her. This place is not cursed. It has a robustly magnetic energy, good for commercial activity. My business is thriving, sir. What in God's name is she talking about? About your daughter. Yeah, it's... never mind. To the curtains. I'm looking at the trinket. You see some kind of charm, an irregular polyhedron assembled from bones, sticks, and straws. Inside a disturbing fish head with empty eye sockets stares at you. From the looks of it, it's a traditional Semines ward meant to provide protection against ill luck, bad dreams, curses, and other supernatural scourges. Who are the Semines? Inhabitants of a place, the Summoning Isles down south. Aside from poking at it suspiciously, there's nothing else to do with the fish head charm at this time. The curtains remain shut. Let's open them. Just as you're about to pull apart the curtains, the petrified voice of the shop owner cries out once more. Sir, don't touch that. I told you it's off limits for the customers. Her hands are closed around her pendant, her fingers nervously playing with the talisman. Parapsychologically speaking, we're done if you decide to open them. I won't be held responsible for the consequences. It's too dangerous. She looks away, mumbling, "Why is everyone always messing with the curtains? Why can't they just buy books like normal people?" Ma'am, this is different. I'm a police officer. I need to get in there. Why? It's not like anyone was killed in there. She stops abruptly as her hand flies over her mouth, baffled by her own bluntness. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to be so impolite. Just please don't go in there. I can't allow it. You'll only make things worse and unleash the powers. This is about the curse. Is that why you're afraid? Oh, it's just a storeroom for the employees. I told you. Now please step away from the curtains. She's almost begging you. Alright, I'll think about it for a while. Thank you. Let's just talk about this first, alright? There's no reason for you to venture into the unknown. What are you, a coward? Think about the marvelous adventures waiting for us on the other side. Talking is always good. Go and see what she has to say. There is something mysterious about the curtains. Be careful.
Hello again, esteemed officer.
Why are you
and
so...
welcome to Crime, Romance, and Biographies of Famous People.
Why are you so uptight about those curtains? I just want to know what's on the other side. I already told you, it's just storage room. I don't understand why it's so important to you. Just let it go, officer. Go buy some goddamn books. You're supposed to be drawn to the books. She's so tense. It's a miracle she hasn't snapped in half yet. If it's just a storage room, then why does it have a Summonese ward protecting it? It's just for decoration. She wavers under your gaze, mouth pressed into a tight-lipped smile, then something breaks. Okay, fine. It's because the place is cursed, just like Annette said. They don't call it the doomed commercial area for nothing. Are you happy now? Happy that you've ruined everything? She closes her eyes and starts mumbling something to her pendant. Take it easy. You've broken her resistance. Pushing her further will gain nothing. How does this curse manifest itself? A shiver runs through the woman as she looks around in the dimly lit store. The curse is so much worse than you could imagine. It's a disease eating at the very foundation. Her voice drops to a whisper. It's the curse of financial distress, of ruin and bankruptcy. She peers the curtains again. Did that curtain just move? Ah, Annette mentioned that the previous tenants have experienced some financial troubles. It's not just that, officer. We're dealing with something supernatural here. It's the cacao daemons, feeding off bad business practices and disappointing income statements. There's something wrong with this building. I can tell you, ever since I arrived, I sense an eerie, lingering presence, as if I was unwanted here. Sounds familiar. Strange. I feel unwanted too. What does that mean? Truly so? Her eyes narrow as she tries to get a read on your energy. Perhaps the dark energies are leeching off you. You shouldn't stay in the store too long. It may be dangerous. Would you like me to take the case? I could investigate, see if the curse is real. Oh, certainly not. I do not want anyone who's not familiar with the psychic arts to get involved in this mess. Stay away, leave the spirits be so they can return to their slumber. My liege, you know what this case calls for? A paradetective. Convince her to let you investigate. Alright, let's go. Thank God. Slither up to her, you silver-tongued fiend. Show her what world-class perfidy looks like. Ma'am, I came here to help. I've handled paranatural situations before. Are you sure? Don't think I haven't seen charlatans before. I have returned from the void, a paradetective from a long line of paradetectives. You're no paradetective, you look nothing like one, and you're clearly a drinker. Pardon me for being so blunt, but you look like one. The lieutenant keeps his usual stony calm. He silently picks out his notebook. Go ahead then, rock her world, he thinks. I'll compose some notes. I admit, I've had my fair share of drinks, but only because the spectral realm is parapsychologically taxing. How do you know all this? Here we go. I have the powers to de-bad all the bad energies. Your wards brought me here in the first place. The Seminese blood also runs through me. You're part Seminese? Oh, it means our meeting couldn't have been mere chance. The hand of fate guides us. But I am not the only one at risk. I have to think of my daughter. You are certain you can help us? Keep us safe? I can't allow any collateral damage to hit us. Just ask my partner Kim. He'll vouch for me. The lieutenant has not been listening closely enough. Oh, he mumbles in minor confusion. You put him on the spot. I can assure you he is a police officer. Very knowledgeable. She shuffles nervously. If you promise, good officer, then you might be our last hope. Do you swear it? On my honor. Thank you, sir. A timid sigh of relief followed by a cautious smile. There's one more thing I haven't told you about yet. The entity. Do not act surprised. You know of these things, sire. Of course, the entity. Close your eyes. For I have sensed its presence. You have? She gasps. The entity takes the form of a woman, a witch probably. I've suspected that she must be connected to the curse ever since I first saw her. Do you know that she lives inside the chimney? Chimneys aren't big enough for that. Chimney. The passage between heaven and hell, of course. Yes, that chimney is part of the building's central furnace, and it's enormous. She has barricaded herself behind some metal security curtains. God knows what she's doing in there. Some unnatural magic, I assume. She shivers. You should go find the entity and ask what happened to all the companies in the building. What is the source of this curse? Here's the key to the warded door behind the curtains. Take it. Oh, and please do return to me after you've looked around. I'm quite anxious to know what she has to say about the curse. What you discover in there. Unbelievable darkness and ruin. What you discover? Probably just some office space. Don't be scared. I have a few more questions about the cursed. Alright, buy book peddler. What we got? Turns out that those Financial Oversight Committee gangsters stuffed millions of hard-earned dividends away in the last place anyone thought to look, the hearts and minds of everyday Revacholians. You need to spread that deregulation gospel to the people. Tell them about the foreign fair tax. Preach that 98% gross burden. Preach it, preacher man. Set the brothers free. Taxes are racist. -1 empathy, but ultra-liberal dialogue options give +1 rail. Okay. Alrighty, let's see. Investigate the doomed stuff. Okay. Let's get in there. Open! You see a dimly lit room full of dusty furniture and trash. A doorway stands in the back, covered in dozens of scary little Siamese wards, your shadow looming over it like an omen. A small, terrified "Oh!" escapes from Plaisance as she tries her best to look away, her round face buried in her hands. Let's see here. Ghostly silhouettes of hairdryers. A vaguely androgynous portrait of a man. A heavy door with a missing handle stands before you, covered in dozens, if not hundreds, of Siamese trinkets and charms. It appears to be locked. Only an echo. No one is there. Unlock the door. After exerting some force, you manage to turn the key. It's eerily silent. The door slides slightly open, letting a draft of cold air into the room. Kim. Should I ask him to go first? I'll go. After I put a band-aid on. Let's see. Sand is dripping from the punch bag. What do you gotta say, Kim?
What is this place?
Looks like a gym to me. Yes, but no one's been here in ages. He draws a stripe on the dusty floor with his foot. I doubt the electricity still works. Good thing we have a flashlight on us. Yes, good thing we have a flashlight on us. Great thinking, me. An eerie feeling rises in your chest. What if there's a reason why no one's been here for ages? Yes, because it's closed. No need to look for supernatural explanations where a banal one will do. Now let's move on, shall we? The poster says, Sidious Fortius, the rest is worn off. Worn out wall bars, they look unsafe. What do we got? Shot put ball. Oh, is that the, is that how I'm gonna replace that dude's shit? A barbell lies on the floor, the color has worn off of the weight plates. It's 60 kilograms, your triceps hum at the sight of these weights. Show the world what kind of beast it's dealing with. Lift them. There are no collars on the barbell, this is a safety hazard. Why does it feel so familiar? Look, Kim, it's a trap. There's no collars on the barbell. You're right. The weights may fall off. Better not touch it then. What kind of bastard would just remove the collars? It should be a felony. It would be a violation of EPIS safety regulations if the gym was still operating, but it isn't. No one's supposed to come here anymore. Not about to die. Let's see what we got here. The hallway is blocked by old window panes and debris. Looks like the remains of the 24-hour window repair shop. A large demijohn full of strange liquid. Wild animals stare at you in the dark, stuffed and mounted. Airship rotors covered in spider webs. They remind you of blades. A naked mannequin torso, a strange yellow color. But where are the clothes it used to display? Hey, money. Blue velvet, soft to the touch, moth-bitten. Yeah, fuck me up with this money. This appears to be some kind of machine with a cube-shaped heart and a wired framework. The keyboard has a rectangular on-off button. A piece of paper still hangs from the printer. A radio computer. Just sitting here without anyone in sight. He sounds surprised and a bit cautious. What he means is that these things cost money. Why could anyone just leave it behind? This is the REM Civic radio computer model, blah blah blah, equipped with a Feld mainframe and a REM-compatible printer. Think I should turn it on? We have only one of these down at the station, but I never really learned how to use it. I'll turn it on. The machine lights up like some prehistoric animal stirring from its slumber, revealing fluorescent play and print keys on the keyboard. The hatch on the machine's central compartment is wide open. Look inside. It's empty like a beehive without its brood. Some cables have been left tangling, disconnected. This is where the memory should go. Play. Nothing happens. Something's missing. There's no tape in the player. Print. Nothing happens. Play again. Nothing happens. Project Dreadboard. Your flashlight slides over an old green chalkboard covered in scribbles, sketches, and schemes like some ancient cave mural. Some of the writing has faded with age, but you can still make out sections here and there. Photos and drawings have been pinned to the board. Alright, let's go down. These lithe, pointy-eared creatures appear to be different types of Welkins. You make out autumnal candle Welkins, casting wax-based magic. Translucent Welkins with organs shining under their skin, and even Aether Welkins hailing from the vast emptiness of the sidereal space. Who are all those creatures? Fantasies of a tortured, feverish mind? You should have adopted one of those Welkins as your persona, no longer a mere man, but a Welkin. One of the Welkins, towering among the rest, appears to be different, however. Examine. This is important. It's Varhamira, a high Welkin, his white face scarred like cracked marble. This is clearly a Welkin supremacist. The note says, all non-Welkin races will be purged. The Huldur, the Dwarg, and the humans, and even the Headless Men, all of them, purged. Imagine a world filled only with Welkin, Green Welkin, Dread Welkin, and the High Welkin to rule them all. The lieutenant can't help but comment. An inordinate amount of time has gone into drawing these little Welkin creatures. Why would anybody spend so much time on this? Some people really like building a world, I think, even if it's just for a game. Who are these creatures? Are they real? I have so many questions. This looks like concept art for a project. It's not really real. What if that was a Welkin supremacist? Political commentary. That one has a great beard, too. Alright, moving on. Just look at all those details. So much effort. And for what? All gone. Photos. The photo collage depicts barren, icy landscape wrapped in tall, perpetual night. You see permafrost and glacial landforms, dead trees groaning into the snow. Entire oceans have been frozen from shore to shore. There are pictures of settlements on dried-up riverbeds, abandoned in a storm, animal corpses in the dark, carcasses and bones. You see primitive oil rigs built into glaciers by boreal dwarg, yurts under the snow, great mammoth-like beasts of burden. A pin postcard reads, "The heat-death scenario, a desperate fight for geothermal energy engulfs the world as Wuriel becomes untethered from its sun, drifting from another universe." This is a monthly calendar from the year 50. Cryptic words like sprint, daily, mini-me, and GPI span the marker-drawn grid, the grand scheme of production and money. Mini-me stands for mini-meeting. It's part of a bigger framework for managing work called Run. Station 41 tried to implement it a few years ago, but it failed. Keep reading what happened. As time goes on, the numbers in the boxes grow rare and rare, but the board becomes an empty snowfield in the final days. Only failure and regret dwell in this region. The lieutenant looks in the frigid ice field of nothingness and concludes, looks like they didn't make it. A note in the bottom left corner of the chalkboard says, "See the prod schedule filament for details." The handwriting is only partly legible, but you can still make out 3 slogans: "Call in," "Tune out," "Wuriel Untethered," and "Heat Death of the Universe." Interesting, very interesting. This old fireplace is covered in lines drawn in blue and red marker, the mesh spreading over the stone like blood vessels on alabaster skin. It looks ghostly and strangely ancient. The whole thing resembles Kedron mosaic tiles, very pesantic. Hold on, how do I know what Kedron mosaic tiles are supposed to look like? History class. Students with their textbooks open, studying the roots of our civilization. Those aquarelle blue tiles look beautiful in the sun. What am I looking at? Radio frequencies, it seems. A whole bunch of frequencies, some written notes too, sparse and cryptic. Radio frequencies for what? Unclear. It seems like a cardiovascular system split into veins and capillaries, very advanced. Of course, narrow your eyes, the anatomy of the curse. Perhaps. The web is comprised of radio stations, all leading back to one heart, titled the Game Master Frequency. A note says this one can listen in on any station it wants. They must have had massive air width. These things don't come cheap. Wait, who's the Game Master? Someone very important. The leader of a massive on-air game built by these people. A conductor for the hundreds of story threads that pass through the Game Master's frequency. If it's a game, then who's playing? Whoever decides to call in and to a call station, it looks like. All of this gone, left unrealized. There's no way a little basement studio working here could pull off anything like this. My God. It's as if the less money they had, the more ambitious their project became. The cost of air width alone must have been huge. Exactly. He nods at the calendar, wiping his marker-stained fingers clean against his jacket. This schedule, I know doom when I see it. The company was running out of funding. What else? Squint at the lines. Nothing, it's just lines on marble, an echo from times long gone. No one has used the fireplace in ages.
Okay, what do you think is going on with that computer, chalkboard, and fireplace?
Looks like an undercover counterintelligence program. No, that's not it. I think... He takes a step back, steepling his hands. Like he's ready to lay out a fine theory, crafted together like a puzzle box. It looks like one of those popular pen and paper role-playing games, only these people are trying to automate it, make it work on radio computers. Utter madness, he thinks. As a compliment. How were they planning to do that? through call-in stations. None of the players have to be physically present. Anyone in the world can participate in the game as long as they have a two-way radio. Then there's the Game Master frequency that listens in on the smaller call stations. I think that was supposed to coordinate the stories, functioning as a master of ceremonies of sorts. Coordinating so many games would take a whole switchboard of people, possibly divided into sub-frequencies. Has anyone done this before? Not to my knowledge. They make automated games in Grad, Messina, Koningsteig, or Koningstein, you know, places with industry. Not in Revachol, west among the ruins. But I don't think anybody has attempted to create an Interra Solari game before. We just don't have the technology. What was a role-playing game? Oh, and this was a role-playing game? Indeed, those Welkins are a dead giveaway. Role-playing people love that stuff. The world looks like a modified version of the Wuriel board game with heat death thrown in. Super cool. Someone should have given them millions of real immediately. This game is too good to be left unfinished. What do you think happened to the company? No idea. They stopped filling out the schedule on the chalkboard. Wow. Indeed, it's ambitious and untethered from reality, but he tilts his head, thinking. The world is cold and lonely. This would keep it company. Let's finish it. A half smile breaks out of his face. It's too late for that, I'm afraid. Looking at the derelict room, the pipes howl and a rat crosses the floor. Okay, let's keep moving. Scribbled across the notebook, developers of the most advanced RPG in the universe. Pro tip, equip a flashlight if you can't see. Wow. Skiss with slipstream printed on a laminated top layer. Steel rotor blades bearing a slipstream logo. Looks like someone tried to reconceptualize their business here. I don't get it. Look, the skis and the rotor blades both bear the same slipstream logo. It looks like they started out making one, failed to turn a profit, and pivoted to producing the other. But the question is, which did they start with and would they pivot to? It's a good question. What a strange leap of imagination, and yet they still failed. How sad. Reality is ruthless. Money? What? What else we got in here? Nothing. This cube-like crisscross of filaments feels oddly fragile in your hands. Its intricate structure... Oh, how do you put it in the radio computer? Looks like a smooth drawer, the filament slides into place. On the keyboard, the play key is blinking. Click! A bar of fabric above the keyboard starts producing a soft hum. The sound of static seeps through the machine's planar magnetic drive. Have you stirred the ghost of the doomed commercial area from its rest? Could this be its dismembered heart beginning to flutter? The static gets louder, slowly filling up the abandoned hall until a voice speaks out, crackling and old, cutting into the air. Fortress accent on Rue de Saint-Beuve. This is East Insulindon Repeater Station 1. Please repeat, is this the production schedule? What's the production schedule? The filament you have inserted into the reader. Ah, thanks. That was a question. Have you inserted the core? Yes. Good. Please repeat the password. Password, of course it would have a password. That's why there's a human administrator involved. You should ask her for a hint. A password? I'm really bad at passwords. Can you give me a hint? No. A hint protocol is not part of a hint system is not part of the protocol for repeater stations. This is the police. Please open this thing. The voice recites, I am contractually obliged to protect the privacy of the filament holder Fortress Accident. Without filing a warrant with Lintel, I cannot give you access to this filament. I have to wait a month. Now you can please repeat the password? Is it my birthday? Still no. I don't know the password. Received. I will register this login attempt. Don't worry, passwords have a way of turning up sooner or later. Why'd you call me Fortress Accident? Fortress Accident is the company on whose name the terminal you are currently using has been registered to. Do you have any information about this company? One moment. Fortress Accident SCA produces revolutionary interactive call-in radio games. That's what the catalog says. That's not bad. And what's that? This interactive call-on radio play? The static drowns her response. Any other questions? You hear her ask when the connection finally improves. What are you, a machine, or are you alive? Yes, I'm alive. I'm 74 years old and my name is Yvonne. She repeats passwords. Programming people are all paranoid. Yvonne, my partner tells me that you're here because radio computer guys are all paranoid. They're merely cautious. It's my job to protect their filaments as a password repeater at the East Insulindon station. Okay, but where are you? How do you know where I am? I work as a repeater in the East Insulindon. It's my job to know where you are. Fortress Accident. As for me, well, some static then. I am sitting in my cubicle surrounded by a wall of radios. Doesn't it get lonely sitting there all by themselves? Lonely? For the first time you hear her chuckle through the rustle of static. Why would it get lonely? I get to talk to people all day. That's why she does this. Now please tell me if there's anything else I can do, Fortress Accident. Let's try the password again. Nope. Okay. That's all for now. See ya. Thank you and goodbye. A thick layer of cold dust covers the furnace, coloring it pitch black. Looks like this furnace has a face, and it's a face of agony. What is this thing? Is it a furnace? Looks like it. Looks like an old central furnace used to heat the building. It's connected to the chimney. He opens the door and gingerly peeks inside. No one has used it in ages, no signs of any recent fire, only dead rats. I look in. It's dark and grimy here. In the darkness you can hear chatter. It's coming from above, a voice or several voices talking to each other near the smoke chamber upstairs. What are you doing? The lieutenant asks when he sees you climb halfway inside. I'm not sure, but I think I can hear someone talking upstairs. Wait, really? We should investigate, see if someone's upstairs. Smear my hands with coal? Sure. You lush a layer of coal now cover your skin, sinking into your wrinkles. Your hands look ancient. You feel the spirit of Ramo Karsai, ancient area of Grod, pulsing through you. All that's left is to cover your face in war paint. Hadramut Karsai, smear your cheeks black with coal. 3 dangerous stripes appear on your cheeks, telling stories of your wild soul. What are you doing? I am the reincarnation of an ancient Illimarian warrior. Please wipe your face clean, officer. No, you're a proud warrior. Keep it. I ain't wiping it. Yes! These 3 stripes give you strength in this dangerous realm. It would be foolish to remove them. We're exploring this dark place and I need the protection my war paint affords. And this protects you. This is traditional war paint. It will grant me safe passage with the spirits that guard this place. Okay, sure. Go ahead. He stubbornly looks away from you in the furnace. Just pointing out, that is not traditional 70s war paint. No idea where you got it. Alright, let's give this a yell. You muster all your strength and yell. Your dehydrated, hungover throat can produce little more than a dry croak. A lifetime of smoking and drinking will do that to you. The chatter from the chimney continue on as before. You seem to have made no impression on whatever's up there. Then again, maybe it's worth actually trying something up there. Huh. Maybe you should let your voice rest, officer. Try again later. The voices I heard. Maybe it's the malignant entity. Pleasant said it lives in the chimney. You're right. The rooms do look like they're connected, but malignant entities don't exist. At least not the supernatural kind. Always has to be the skeptic, this man. The wall collapsed. It's inaccessible now. Ice cream maker defrosted and unplugged. The flashlight casts strange shadows. There's a hidden doorway here. Frozen ice cream maker that's still running. Two cables are plugged into the breaker box. A red one leads off into the darkness and the black one to the ice cream maker nearby. Don't rip the red one out, you'll awaken the ghosts. cellar window, people's feet shuffling by on the street. Two rusty rifles are hidden above the piping. They look inoperable. Someone has stuck some busted guns beneath the ceiling. A hole in the wall. A few bricks have fallen off, revealing a compartment behind the wall. It's too dark to see inside. Where are we? Seems like an old bunker from the Revolutionary period. Look at all those rifles. Must be an old weapons cache. Look in the hole in the wall. There is, yes, and there also appears to be something inside the hole. Interesting. Do you want to look in? Yeah, let's fucking look. Your hand reaches deep into the darkness and spider webs roaming around. You find rusty rifles hidden away. Inspect. Most of them are rusty and inoperable like the rest, but one catches your eye, a bolt-action model with a fine wood stock, in better cosmetic order than the others. Ticket, you're a police officer. Police officers carry guns. This one looks nice. Yoink. An old bell Mugrave from the Revolution. Seems to no longer be functional, but still a beautiful thing in its own way. What does this mean? A rifle here. It means there are firearms, albeit inoperable, still lying around in Martinez. It's an interesting coincidence, I would say. It might become useful in the future. It might come useful in the future. He likes this find. Ice Bear fridge. You see a terrifying ice bear with a strange compartment in its belly. The door is covered in frost and the bear's eyes are glowing red. The bear looks oddly realistic. Is it taxidermy? What is this thing? It looks like a giant ice bear. The lieutenant doesn't answer. His eyes are glued to the animal. A sharp slice of light comes from its mysterious belly door. Open the door. A gust of freezing cold air rushes to greet you. You hear a very low grumble as the bear regulates itself. This is the inside of a refrigerator. The lieutenant takes a peek inside. His hand has found the holster of his gun. Look inside the fridge. The shelves are empty. All you can see are crumpled ice cream wrappers with the brand name Revachol Ice City. A handwritten note has been attached to the door. The fridge is huge. Ice cream wrapper. A friendly cartoon bear smiles back at you from a glossy cellophane wrapper. It looks nothing like the fridge. Take the note. You pocket the note and the little fridge magnets, keeping it on the door. What is the giant bear-shaped fridge doing in an abandoned cellar in the first place? Good question. Looks like an ice cream fridge. He looks at one of the wrappers. So they tried to sell ice cream from this hyper-carnivore? And no, what an unfortunate marketing choice. What is even worse, the bear is still costing them money to this day. The lieutenant points at the red cable, this red snaky cable running from the fridge. The fridge buzzes with energy. The electricity bill on this thing must be catastrophic. Why did you do that? I unplugged both of them. Because it's black, the color of a measurable cosmos. The lieutenant raises his brows but doesn't say anything. The electric distribution board now has one cable missing. Red cable? Unplug. Plug in. Unplug. I don't know why I unplugged it. I do things without any reason. Alright, up the stairs. Oh, it's just intercom wires running into the breaker box. Hey. Handwritten note from the fridge. A handwritten note you find in the fridge. It still bears some marks of the fruit shapes. Yeah. The note was written in blue pencil on a piece of lined office paper. The kitchen magnets have left spots on its surface. Does it say anything interesting? This is tangible at best, but the lieutenant's detective instinct is still active. Someone has scribbled S. I can't believe the off-site copy is still here. The illiterate ginger kid keeps stealing stuff from the studio, so I had to hide it somewhere safe. You'll find a filament memory with the off-site copy in the frozen ice cream maker. Please take it home ASAP. It's important. I'd do it myself if I lived in a civilized place with a freezer. Take care. Suli Slaw. Do you have any idea where the frozen ice cream maker could be? I don't know, I assume it's somewhere close to the ice bear fridge. Who's the illiterate ginger kid? Really? You don't have a single guess? Kuno? Well, I'm sure that child would love to get his hands on a filament memory, even if he doesn't know what to do with it. He'd probably try to pawn it off for speed based on our encounter. Wonder who wrote it. Looks like someone from the radio game company upstairs. I'm a little surprised they left their property lying here. Maybe they had to leave in a hurry. That's a plausible hypothesis. What's a filament memory? It belongs inside a radio computer storing its memory. It's like a tape. You listen to disco tapes, right? It's like one of your disco tapes, only for a computer. Interesting. Very interesting for a disco like me. The orange machine is dead still, and its hand-crank ice cream churner and electric freezer, the ice around it slowly melting. Crack open the lid. You slip your fingers under the frozen lid, but the ice is too cold for you to get a good grip. A pry bar would come in handy here. No, this is going to need something else, some kind of super pry bar. Don't even try to open it with a regular pry bar, you're just wasting your time. If you want to try again, then you need to have the pry bar in your hand, detective. Turn the ice cream crank. Turning the crank feels oddly satisfying, like stirring your childhood dreams. In the distance, you hear water dripping. It's all gone now. You'll never become a poet or a entrepreneur. Oof. Oof. A stronger pry bar, huh?
Yes?
Damn. Wait, I thought I turned it off. The hell? Safety curtains. An iron safety curtain curves before your eyes, folded like a bellows. It covers half the room, blocking the way to a colossal industrial chimney. This must be where the entity lives. Hello? I yelled, but it didn't work. Again, your voice becomes raspy croak mid-sentence. It's silence in the abandoned office building. No one answers you. A sudden bout of self-pity comes over you. Sarah, may we suggest something? Thinking of the yelling into the furnace as a grand performance, use your chest voice, not your head voice. Sing from the diaphragm. Perhaps it's not such a bad idea. Try it again, son. Shoes in the puddle of melting snow. Does someone live here? What's this? Postcard. The sunlight has made this postcard almost completely sepia-toned. Midtown traffic passes. Overhead, the ghosts of skyscrapers disappear into a beige midday mist, vapor rising from the delta on which the district was built. The postcard is prepaid. Is this familiar because I'm a weightlifter? No, it's not that. It's the stale smell of rubber, the squeaky sound of sneakers, and your bruised knee against the mat. And a whistle, then the feeling is gone. It's just a memory.
alive and well. Don't keep me waiting now. What's in there? In that dark sarcophagus?
The dark sarcophagus. Pause dramatically. Yes, yes, how was it? Tell her how ghastly it was. You know, it's what she wants to hear. It was a charnel house of failed business enterprises leeching life energy from this bookstore. I knew it. Oh, such horrors that have been thrust upon us. What else did you find? Did anything survive? No, of course not. Have you located the entity? You don't have anything of substance to tell her until you found the entity of hers.
Hello, sir. How is the investigation going? Found any curses yet?
Yeah, I found a way into the doomed commercial area. Oh, that's great. I hope exciting adventures will lie ahead. Maybe you can help help Mother become less afraid. See you. Hello, yes, this is the Tricentennial Electrics. This is, have you come to place an order? She sounds almost antique, as if her voice was being played off of an old wax cylinder. Her receiver must not be working properly. Wait, but what happened to the slipstream, Messier? There's no Tricentennial Electrics on the list. Yes, I've come to place an order. My God. Sorry? It's you. My God, I didn't think I'd hear your voice again. She must be mistaking you for something else. Who cares that you don't remember her? Just go along with it. No, something's wrong here. Are you sure she's talking to you? Yeah, it's me. Here I am again, crawling back into your life. Michael, just please. She stops and you can hear her breathe heavily, her breath distorted by ancient static. Why did you even call? I don't understand. You've been gone for months. I thought you didn't care. Of course I care. It's just that I've been going through some tough time. Ever since I came to work here, it's been different, as if my mind's been wiped clean. A spot of static overrides her words, and when she speaks again it sounds like she's submerged. It's so nice. It's so nice to be able to finally forget. Forget about what? She sounds like she's about to cry. Oh God, please don't cry. She doesn't answer. You said it was nice. What's so nice about forgetting? Silence. The only thing you can hear now is static and waves. washing ashore on the bay. I get it, you don't want to talk to me. No one ever wants to talk to me. Another seagull passes by. It's getting cold standing here, standing at the silent call box. It must have some kind of faulty wiring. We should probably stop playing with this doorbell. It looks ancient. Alright then. It's goodbye then. Whatever she says, it can't hurt you. You're a different person now, stronger, healthier, and... Alright, maybe not healthier, but it's a bonus that you've drank so hard and can't remember any of your past relationships. Oblivion's the ace in your corner. Call her again. There's a light buzz as you press the doorbell, waiting for her to answer. It's cold outside and you can hear the wind blowing into the speaker. Yes, hello, this is Tricentennial Electrics. Have you come to place an order? Hi, it's me again. I wanted to talk to you. My God. Here come the bad vibes again. Relax. Distance yourself from it. Please don't hang up. I want to explain myself. She says it's you. My God, I didn't think I'd hear your voice again. Wait, is she... Are you repeating your words? Michael, just please. Even her breathing, the way her voice drops when she finishes a sentence sounds exactly the same. Why'd you even call? I don't understand. You've been gone for months. I thought you didn't care. Is this some kind of joke? It doesn't matter what I say, you're just going to continue, right? The voice from the intercom doesn't have an answer, but you can hear her breathing. Wind blows into your microphone again, crackling, echoing in the box. Is it over? Can we talk now? Ever since I came to work here, it's been different. As if my mind's been wiped clean. It's so nice. It's nice, and then it hits you. You're recording. She tries again not to cry and still doesn't succeed completely. Her quiet sobs sound old and distant, as if her voice is carried off by a wax cylinder. Real or not, your mirror neurons react. It feels painful to be listening to this. Just a recording. And here I thought. Her sound melts into a static from a long-distance phone call. From time to time you could hear people talking in the distance but can't make out any words. This is where you hung up the call the last time, but the recording is still going. A phone rings in the office with an old-fashioned chime and someone walks by in a pair of heels. The static is like a warm blanket wrapped around the sounds. Is anyone there? No one replies, but the static grows stronger like rainfall. Then a female voice speaks out, completely different from the one before. Glorious and total somehow, crawling inside your head. Her words are too cold to comprehend. She smells of sodium lights and rain streaks on car windows. Eyes like pilot lights watch your shape in dark hallways, scuttering. So, the strange alien thought pattern ends. The lieutenant cuts in, inspecting the intercom. It was a recording trapped in the circuitry from some ancient tenet. This sometimes happens. Shall we conclude here? We have other mysteries to solve. Something weird just happened to me. Don't take this the wrong way, but during our short stint working together, something weird is almost always happening to you. That is true.
Ray's descent has only worsened since I last saw you. You have really let yourself go.
Just like that, instinct took over, a solid strike straight into his throat, into the cartilage. You could swear you felt the soft plate break. The man is reeling, gasping for air. Time stands still around you. In the distance, the sound of the harbor are falling silent. All you hear is a small gurgling sound as a trickle of blood appears on the man's lips. Oh no, a 360 flying spin kick. Hiya! The man lands with a dull thump like a broken down puppet of muscles and sinew. For a moment he tries to keep his head up, dazed eyes looking at you with unimaginable surprise. To your left is the button. Disco Inferno. Press the button. As you slam your fist on the button, the man collapses entirely, his head rolling to the side. Looks like you're the new Measurehead now. Her voice is surprisingly calm. No one is the new Measurehead. Let's go before he gets up. The man is still knocked out. He breathes slow and steadily. Give me that loot. Yeah. How much more experience do I need to level up? Every worker, member of the board. This is a Dewey typewriter. The model name is on the back. Below the flyer is the union logo and demand democracy. The standard office cabinet. The drawers are locked. Someone left the coffee machine on. The dark liquid in the pot looks almost sentient. This one's not locked. Oh. Someone forgot to properly close one of the drawers. It's unfortunate for the union to just leave their paperwork lying around like this. Let's see what's in, he thinks. Inside is a well-organized selection of brown folders. Hundreds of documents containing logistical data. Two kinds of transactions stand out. Materials coming in from Revachol from the outside world. Mundi, Grad, and even Ilmara. And some materials being handed over to the companies like inside Revachol. Koran, Coal City, La Delta, and Jamrock are listed among the many districts where the imports are being sold. Anything interesting? It's hard to make sense of this thicket of company names, dates, quantities, and percentages. You try to focus, but the lines are getting blurry. Let's go through the folders, bud. Whatever's hidden here is hidden well. Concentration isn't enough. Only a trained accountant with a background in logistics would be able to really make sense of it. However, there is a little handwritten note stuck to the inside. It appears to be a to-do list written in large, uneven capital letters. Remember, Leo. Evrat's shoes, special whirling borscht, water Evart's plants, sweep Appa's floor, more banners. All items on the list have been cropped out and the note itself is crumpled. Look, Kim, a to-do list. A to-do note with a list of errands for Evrat. Evrat Clare, probably the head of the Defenders Union. One of the aides must have left it. Nothing incriminating here. The special borscht seems a bit odd, though. So, what do you do? What the fuck? door is locked and cannot be opened from this side without a passcode. Guess you have no choice but to talk to the Union leader. An imposing combination of a punch clock and a payphone is looking down at you from the wall. A note on the side says tokens unavailable due to strike, use change. Several knobs, 2 buttons marked with Alumir and Enter are mated with use. It seems to control the large crane above. On and off. The harbor sleeps as the strike rages in the distance. The crane can rest again now that its purpose has been fulfilled. Its purpose? What do you mean? Moving this container, of course. For this purpose it was built, and this purpose it has acted, and now it will rest. I can't see how that was worth the ruckus, except for seeing the crane in action, which I admit was satisfying. I think there's something in this container. Is this like your thing with the wall again? Maybe? I can't tell. We should investigate further. You do? Because I don't. What? Why not? There are a million containers here. Why are you fixating on this one? Maybe it was just hanging from the crane. You just picked one out because you wanted to interact with a cargo container. We're not here to interact with containers. We're here to talk to the Union, right? Knock, knock, knock. Open the door. You attempt to turn the handle, but to no avail. The doors seem mechanically locked. Fine. Jeez. policeman cloak. Looks like someone left his cloak hanging off the railing here. The white rectangle of the Revachol city. This is your cloak. You can feel it. Lieutenant. I think that's mine. Yes, let's have the RCM insignia, and we're the only detectives in Martinez. Think I should get it? The service cloak issued to you by your station? Yes. Yes, I do. As your fingers touch the tarpaulin, it almost feels like the cloak wants you to deliver a message of comfort through your fingertips. I will shield you from the elements and give my life for yours. That's what the cloak is relaying. Plus one shivers. Nice. At least 3 packs worth of cigarette butts. Numerous lots of drinkers. All those empty wine bottles and cigarette butts on the ground. Somebody partied really, really hard here. Did I do this? Well, yes, I think we can say with relative confidence that it was you. It was really sad. It must have been miserable. Yes, the scene isn't exactly ripping with joy. Let's just move on. Night Watchman's booth. The name on the door reads Rene Arnoux. So this is where Rene works. I'm gonna look around. If you must, but please hurry. We're pretty easy to spot up here. Nothing incriminating catches your eyes. The cabinets are clean and their sparse contents meticulously organized. There's a framed photograph on the table. Take it. It's a black and white photo of a young couple out in the street fair. The man Renee is dressed in a royal cavalier photo. The young girl is young and very pretty. She is smiling playfully at the camera. Renee looks like he's about to smile. This photo must be tied to some good memories. Why'd you take that picture of Renee? Ask him about it. You're really interested in that old soldier. Not sure I understand your fascination, but sure, as long as it doesn't take up a whole lot of time. What else we got? a little call. Alright, I'm gonna dial a random number. Heat. Your fingers run over the dial pad 005. That's the dialing code for Revachol 4952 993. Video Revachol 24-hour video rental. We rent 8 and 10 millimeter film for home use. This is Lemmy. How may I help you? What is this place? Video Revachol is a 24-hour video rental. We blah blah blah. Do you know me? No. What is this place to me? So I don't know. It's a video rental. Maybe you rent videos here. Why did I call you? Maybe you called to extend your rental period. Do you need to extend your rental period? Maybe, but I don't even know my name. If you need any further assistance, you can visit us on the corner of Voyager and Main. I can't help you over the phone. Are we done? He thinks you're pulling a prank on him. The call is terminated by the other party. You left like this. What else can I do? Well, I'm not stuck. Can I open this door?
Yes?
Container, container, I'll turn you nice and red. Container, container, put the logos on. Container, container, used to be Walpines. Container, container, now belongs to Everett.
Hi.
Everett, Everett, Everett. He looks after everyone. Huh? Well, hey there. How can I help you, mister?
The look in his deep blue eyes is as sincere as you've ever seen. Kind of makes you feel like an asshole for no
I see you're
reason.
not a union man, mister. Did you get lost? You're not one of them scabs, are you?
What's up with you people and scabs?
I mean, I don't personally mind. Folks is just folks, you know, and folks gotta eat. Just some of the other guys don't look too kindly on the scabbing kind, if you know what I mean, mister.
You're Yubi, right? Oh yes, born and raised in Irish, mister. Mum had to leave my dad after he got a bit violent, took us here to the new world. I was about 10 then, too old to lose my accent then. People say us Ubis are all up to all sorts of trouble with sheep and other animals and whatnot. I just want you to know that there's never any of that where I come from. No sir, those are just nasty rumors. What are you doing with the containers? Oh, I'm just making some covers for the containers here. Yes I am, yes I am. So it's easier for the crane operators to spot them. He waves at the containers. What's going on here? The containers in the yard are green in Wild Pine's livery, and the mountain rising behind Leo are all red in Union colors. It's like some red infection was spreading outwards from the container yard's core. This looks like a massive redecorating operation, Kim. Yes, they're hiding it from the inside. All the red containers have the DeBoards Union logo on them. Leo, has anyone told you why you need to change the covers? No, not really. Mr. Everett doesn't tell me all the big things. Says I go and tell them to everyone. Thanks. No trouble at all, mister. No trouble at all. Where's everyone? Oh, most of the guys are down at the gates, keeping the scabs from coming in. We're on a strike. The whole union is. You don't have to work when you're on strike. Ha! We haven't worked for 2 months now. So no one is working? Not everyone is down there, of course. Mr. Everett is in his office, where he always is, and Jean-Luc is guarding the gate. But Titus and his boys have gotten into some drunken trouble, and Everett sent them on a nice vacation for a week or so, but seems eager to tell you more. What kind of trouble did this Titus and his friends get into? Oh, I'm not really supposed to talk about that. That's union business. Him and the boys stirred something up in town. Probably drank too much and got in a fight or something. I heard Mr. Everett telling them to take some time off. Really? Did they kill someone? No, I don't think they killed anyone. Let's better talk about something else. Titus and his boys do good work. I don't want to get into trouble over a little drinking. He probably doesn't know anything anyway. Who in their right mind would tell him? You work here? Yes, yes, everybody needs a job, and this is mine. I'm Leonard, by the way, Leonard Bellick, but everyone calls me Leo. I'm like Mr. Everett's right-hand man. When Mr. Edgar is out of town, Mr. Edgar's right-hand man, and Mr. Edgar's right-hand man, when Mr. Everett is away. Actually, Miss Beaufort is the right-hand man, but she's a lady. Who is Miss Beaufort? She's a real pretty lady with a skin like those dough and sucre candy bars my missus likes so much. Them are real nice to suckle on once dinner is done and me and the missus sit down besides the radio. But I can't listen to radio all the time. There's so much to do around here and I'm always busy keeping things running here. Yes I am, yes I am. Stay on this Miss Beaufort topic. Hold on, who's this Miss Beaufort you mentioned? Oh, Lizzie? Oh, she's a real sharp tool. Mr. Everett put her through some fancy school and everything, east of the river. 4 years she was gone. When she came back, she was all fancy and lawyerly. He respects that word, that's obvious. But she's a real nice girl, grew up in this here neighborhood, knows everybody and gets along with everyone. Real pillar of the community one day, I'm sure. For a fraction of a second, there's a sadness in his eyes. He goes on, if me missus and me was to have a child, I'd be real happy if she turned out like her, but she can't have kids. Dr. Lamarty said so, and she knows about such things. Been a doctor for almost 50 years, she has. He sighs and falls silent, watching you meekly with his blue eyes. So Everett trained a lawyer named Miss Beafort. Interesting. I think you're doing a great job here, Leo. Yes, this place really seems to run like a clockwork. Keep it up, Leo. Well, thanks a lot. Coming from you, it means a lot, really. You didn't think it was impossible, but the smile becomes even wider. Sometimes I feel like some of the guys don't really get how much I bust my ass for them here. But you guys are alright. The white rectangle on your clothes must mean an awful lot in Martinez, but the recognition from an authority figure made Leo's day. Are you, Leo, the one who wrote the note to make more banners? Oh yeah, I leave all kinds of notes for myself. That old head of mine ain't so good at keeping things in no more. I almost forgot about the borscht. What about the borscht? Oh yes, I've been taking special whirling borscht to the men every day since the strike started. It's very, very good. Makes a man feel so warm and happy. He shakes his head with a wide smile. I feel like I could take on Mr. Renaudin's boar dogs every time lunch is done. What do you mean by taking the soup to men? Is it for striking? Yes, I'm taking it to them. The borscht keeps them happy and in fighting spirits, makes them all warm inside. They brew it at the Whirling in Rags. Hold up, who makes it at the Whirling? Oh, the Whirling's cook. He makes it. Them's always talking about Mr. Manana and that weird language and laughing together. He doesn't speak what we speak. He's from Grod. Something's off about the borscht. I'm looking into it. Oh, sure, Mr. Sure. You do that, yes, sir. He didn't actually understand what you meant. Now he's just nodding away. What's in that container over there? Oh, that one? That should be empty as far as I know. Lots of containers here have nothing in them. They're just waiting to be loaded up. Told you. Damn it. Looking for the leader of the Dock Workers Union. Oh, you want Mr. Everett then? He's an awfully nice fellow. He is. Him and his brother are both nice fellows. They live their entire lives in this here neighborhood. He coughs, then continues immediately. Guys like Mr. Everett and Mr. Edgar, his brother, are real good guys. Made Martinez what it is today. Mr. Everett and Mr. Edgar and I went to the same school we did when we were boys. Easy now, Leo. I just want to know, where can I find this man? Oh, Mr. Everett's usually in his office, of course. He points to the container on your right. You gotta be quick if you want to see him. He leaves around 22. Doesn't like 20 minutes. Oh. Get gussied up for our talk. What's Half-Light? Sure, I'll wear Half-Light. We'll do drama, I guess. Let's see what's so special about this dude. Before you was a walrus of a man seated behind a large desk. He looks up from his work, not the least bit surprised to see you. With great effort he straightens himself up in his chair, yet says nothing. He simply stares at you. Mixture of expectation and impatience, well bottled. Are you in charge of the dock workers? Welcome.
Welcome, Mr. Dubois, Mr. Kitsuragi. It's good of you two to stop by. Please, have a seat.
He gestures.
I'm Everard Clare, head of the Debargeurs Union here in Martinez. I'd offer you my hand, but unfortunately my health prevents me from getting up. You understand.
He looks extremely comfortable. The tiny folding chair, on the other hand, looks like a torture device.
You go ahead, detective.
Whatever he has in store for you, it can't be good, he thinks. I'll do my best. Forget about that. What's with this Dubois stuff? You're getting some seriously bad vibes from that name. I'd rather stand.
Please, Mr. Dubois, let us converse in a civilized manner as equals. Take a seat, I insist.
He's trying to throw you off the game with this Dubois nonsense. Don't give him the pleasure.
Excellent, Mr. Dubois. I can see that you're a reasonable man, and reasonable men can be of great use to one another.
Remain serious.
So tell me, how can the head of the Debargeurs Union help a representative of the Revachol Citizens Militia today?
Or... the chair you're sitting on has got to be the most uncomfortable chair in the world. It's violating your backside.
Oh, by the way, I heard you got a rather rude reception from a certain Lawrence Garte. Some people have no manners, it pains me to say. This should take care of that nonsense.
He points to a giant novelty check on his desk. It's absolutely comically huge.
It should be sufficient to cover your expenses for a few days and patch over your differences with the cafeteria manager. Go ahead, take it.
Wow, that's 25 real. That's good money. You need it. Wait, you know Gart?
Yes, I know Lawrence. He's a real character. No union man in him. A real piece of work, that boy is.
With a grin, he points to the check again. It's like you're on a game show. At least don't thank him for it. Keep it. I'm good.
Okay. I respect a man with principles. No handouts, then. Now, I'd like to set your mind at ease about one other matter. Your lost gun. Let me assure you, Union people are on it as we speak. I've got my best hounds looking for that lost gun. Lost gun. Lost gun.
The world is swallowed by a black hole. What was this? The world is swallowed by a black hole of fear. Only two words escape its gravitational pull. Lost it. Gun. When he said don't worry, he actually meant be very worried. How do you know about my lost
I know everything, Harry. Right now I know that you're worried. Don't be worried. Everything's going to be alright. It's not like you left it loaded. You didn't lose a loaded gun. Local children aren't out there playing with it right now, pointing it into their own mouths. It's in a safe place. I just know it. I have a feeling everything's going to be alright.
It was loaded. There were 2 bullets in it. You always keep at least 2 barrels loaded. Oh, Jesus. Whew. Who does this guy think you are? Ronnie the rookie? You ain't worried about no lost gun or unpaid bill or forgotten name. You're the bad cop. You're probably more corrupt than him. Sink deep into the folding chair, smile and cross your hands behind your back. The fat man does the same, sinking deeper into his chair that one would think is physically possible. He seems to be enjoying your little display. Good. Now lean in with some corruption. Listen, Everett, pal. We both know what makes the wheels of this world turn.
That we do. Let them say what they will about you and me. We're both born fighters.
Nice bit with the chair, by the way. A good way to keep your guests on edge.
Why, thank you. It's always nice when a fellow professional appreciates your work.
That's it. Now kick back and add a final flourish for dignity. I'm not saying I'm corrupt, I'm rational.
You strike me as a reasonable man, Harry. I like that in a lawman. Let's cut to the chase, shall we? What can Everard Clare do for you?
I think we'd like to ask you a few questions. Don't you think so, Detective?
Questions will show him who's boss. Whatever you do, don't ask him about the gun first. You don't want him thinking you're scared. What's in the container that's outside your office? My dear Harry, there are literally millions of containers outside in this harbor. I couldn't possibly remember what's in all of them. There's something special about it. It was attached to the crane. Harry, you smooth-talking son of a bitch. Time is a precious research, and I don't have enough of it to count containers with you. Smooth-talking? You mean that's the way to go about opening the container? You should at least try convincing it. Aren't you going to ask me how I got in? Am I going to ask? Hell, Harry, you spin-kicked my strongest man in the face. I saw it from my window. Would you ask a man like that how he got into your container yard? You don't have a window. It was a figure of speech, Harry. Of course I don't have a window. I'm in a container. Anyway, I assure you, I'm a very well-informed man. Information reaches me before I even get the chance to request it. You called me Mr. Dubois. Why? Of course, let us dispatch the formalities. You call me Everett, I call you Harry. So that's really my name? My God, so it's true. I didn't want to believe it, but you are a fantastic science fiction amnesiac cop, aren't you? What are the odds of that? I think the odds of that are very low. It might be a good idea to hide your confusion. I mean, see what his game is first. My memory's fine, I'm just testing it. So good to hear that, Harry. Apparently my sources were wrong. However, if you did have a spot of memory trouble, I could help you out with my big fat folder. Words flow like a river of honey from his lips. I guess word has already reached him. No matter, no harm done. Are you trying to tell me you've gotten a hold of some of our documents? Mr. Kitsuragi, would you mind? Me and Harry are talking about his lost identity right now. Don't just jump to the folder, that's not smart. Shows you're on the edge. Do some probing first. Let's get this straight. What is my full name? It's Harry. Harry Dubois. Okay, I like it. I can work with that. And I can work with you, Harry. Now what else can I do for you? Do I have a wife or kids or family? Harry, you're not a family man. There's not one peep of family in here, unless you think you're a family man. Do you strike yourself as a family man? You're right, I don't. That's why I like you, Harry. His fat finger is pointing at you. A good man knows both his strengths and his weaknesses, and you, my friend, are one of the all-time greats. What kind of cop does it say I am? Well, Harry, if I were to sum you up in one word, it would be apologetic. I'm sorry? Yes. You seem to be, a lot of the time, but right now there's no reason to be. Let loose a little. Be you. Where'd you get that? This? My friends in your organization gave it to me, Harry. This translates to, haha, you guys are so corrupt. I find that very suspicious. May I have a look? I'm afraid this is meant for you, for Union eyes only, Mr. Kitsuragi. I'm sure you understand. Please continue, Harry. Yeehaw. As you look at the folder, Everett covers it with his hand and pets it. He's hiding from you because it's not a real RCM folder, it's just another one of those brown folders you saw in the file cabinet. That's not an RCM folder. Okay, Harry, you got me. This is from the Census Bureau, not the RCM. Those Census Bureau people are absolutely corrupt. You should do something about them. He got that name from the Census Bureau and everything else here, and everything else from your actions here in Martinez. Yes, Mr. Kitsuragi, from the Census Bureau, like I said. Now, I'm actually a very busy man, so is there anything else I can do for you, Harry? That means he doesn't really know anything about you. A pity. The mystery of you will have to remain a mystery for the time being. So the Census Bureau says my name is Henry Dubois. Yes, that's what I said. Try to keep up, okay? Alright, about the hanging. Oh, of course, that's the main thing here. That's why you're in Martinez. I know everything that goes on around here, and I'd love to discuss it with you. I mean, it's no secret that the lynching is connected to the strike. So much to talk about. Honestly, it's been weighing on me so heavily. I understand you need to interview me. But there's a thing that's been keeping me up at night. I want to talk about the hanging. I mean, if we could just calmly talk, exchange information, we could blow this thing wide open. Yes, that sounds good. Let's do that. But I can't think straight with this thing weighing on me. Suddenly slaps himself on the forehead. You're police officers, aren't you? I have a crazy idea. You guys are basically door-opening machines. Incredibly talented at opening doors. Kim, is that true? Are we door-opening machines? You've heard wrong, Everett. Or not. Oh, you're being too modest, my friend. But don't worry, this annoying thing that I have is completely legal. I just need you to open a door. Why don't you just open it yourself? Henry, I'm a very busy man, and more importantly, I don't have the extraordinary physique you do. You look like you could run around all day. You want to send someone a message that the police are working for you? I repeat, I'm a very, very busy man, Mr. Kitsuragi, and therefore must be occasionally enlist outside help. So what'll it be, Harry? Whose door? Oh, no one's. It's just a weasel. A weasel lives there. Nothing for you to worry about. What do you mean by a weasel? A loud, blabbering weasel. When weasels feel no one is watching, they start acting foolishly. Just go there, unlock the door, and leave it open. It's been such a burden on me, Harry. I just want this to be over so I can discuss business with you. I bet you don't even know anything about the hanging. Harry, my dear friend. I am what people call a local bigwig. I know everything that goes on in Martinez. Fine. Fantastic. Just let me know when it's done. We can take our friendship to the next level. You can get the key from Manana. He's down by the gates. Manana is like a free agent in the Union. Special operations, hardened socialist, a real free thinker too. He'll tell you precisely where the door is. One last thing. Just open the door. You don't need to go in or anything. I just want that weasel to come home and see the unlocked door. I'm looking into your shady brew. I don't know what that means, Harry. Shady brew? There's so many moving parts in my operation, I can't keep track of them all. You know what? Don't even tell me. Whatever it is, do it. Surprise me. Just one thing if you can. Make it even shadier. He sincerely has no idea what you were talking about, and he doesn't care either. About my lost gun. Yes, your lost gun. My best men are on it. They're turning every stone, searching every playground, asking kids, grandmas, everyone. Your gun will be found, Harry. Let me assure you of that. He winks at you. It's just a matter of time and effort. The only way to find it seems to be working with him. He might even be holding your gun hostage. I will not be blackmailed with this gun business. Harry, I was only trying to be tactful. A lost gun is a dangerous thing. I can't have it around my neighborhood. His tone is suddenly very serious. Kids can be playing gun roulette with it as we speak. Teenage gangs could be arming themselves. Get a hold of yourself, Harry. I assure you we are working on locating the missing sidearm as well. The lieutenant is concerned about the lost gun and feels the fact that you haven't prioritized looking for it unfortunate, if inevitable, and doesn't put the RCM in a good light. Excellent, Mr. Kitsuragi. That's excellent news. Looks like we have a friendly gun-finding competition in our hands. I'm gonna leave now, but we might talk again later. Wait! You need this to get in and out through the gate. Thanks. I was wondering how I was supposed to get out. Here, you're one of us now. A real red and white Union man. Take care.
We should think about calling it today, maybe. The nights are still miserably cold this time of year.
I haven't paid the cafeteria manager for the damages yet. You should take care of that then. But I won't have the money. Let's talk to him anyway. An officer of the RCM should be sleeping on the streets. We'll figure something out. Though he finds the situation frustrating, he is doing his best to not make you feel any worse than you already do. Persuade the door to open. Using my body over my wits. Now is not the time to get philosophical detective. You can do that after hours. An old monument stands in the traffic island pointing towards the sea. It looks like... what is this? The king... Okay... I'm just gonna... Hey, neat. Hustler style. But wait, you haven't learned about his fabled cocaine addiction. Small, wrinkled woman does not greet you. She nods along to something on a radio. A photograph is clutched in her hands. There's a warm smile on her face. The photo, an ambrotype from the turn of the century, as golden as her smile. It's the warmth of the winter's night's fire. Maybe she could give comfort and shelter, some cigarettes and food money. Maybe she's your... Excuse me, ma'am, I can ask you some questions? Grandma? Snap your fingers.
Wait. She's just a distracted old woman. Better to leave her alone.
Why?
Why? I just told you why. Tracks leading on the roof.
Can I help you?
So about that money I owe. I was wondering if we can come to some kind of arrangement. Does the arrangement include you paying me what we already agreed you owe me? Kim's about to say something. I understand your predicament as the manager. However, I feel we must remind you that we are here to conduct an important investigation that also affects your business. Forgive me for saying this, but your colleague seems more committed to drinking and... He shrinks back a bit under the lieutenant's severe gaze. I mean, no offense. It's really nothing personal. I just have to protect the interests of this establishment. Hold on, I still have my key, you know. Good luck trying to use it. He taps his foot on against a metal box installed behind the counter. All the locks have an electronic component. They'll have to be unlocked down here first with a master key before your guest key will open the lock. This conversation isn't going anywhere, is it? Not until you bring me the money. Okay, I might have something in my motor carriage we can use when you're done here. I really don't want to resort to this, the man is thinking. Oh, Lieutenant, we're done here.
Yes?
What do I have to find? I have something in here we could sell. Look in the back of the suspect transport enclosure. Transport enclosure? Regular people just call it the cage. The cage at the back of the motor cage looks rather uncomfortable. 4 shiny hubcaps are stacked against the seat. Their silver edges sparkle in the dark. I confiscated these 4 a little while back. We can take them to the pawn shop. What do you mean you confiscated them? A couple weeks ago I stopped a young man for going slower than the speed of traffic. Turns out he was some coalition official's son and high. Isn't that corruption? I don't know, is it? I was going to take them into evidence, but they weren't necessary for conviction. He never asked for them back. Did you want to put these spinners in your machine? No, that would be silly. He said I don't know why I kept them, it doesn't matter. I couldn't put them on this MC anyway, a cop with spinners, that would be outrageous. Yeah, outrageously cool. He flashes a smile barely visible in the dark. Say nothing. I'm sorry, I can't take them, it wouldn't be right. Alright, let's not take them now, and then come back once we realize we have to have this conversation again and then take them. Sounds likely. I'm not gonna have it on money otherwise.
Greetings on this fine night. What brings you here?
How come you're still open?
The pawn shop is always open.
No kidding.
Greetings on this fine night. What brings you here?
feeling warm and enthralled by the movement of light while the mind continues to race forward. Lucky bastard, he probably on Pure Holodon. It's tough to come by on the street. Pure Holodon, what is that? A drug developed by the military to treat and prevent radiation sickness. It has psychedelic side effects, and it makes your eyes turn yellow. Sir, could you take off your sunglasses? I'd like to check your eyes. Why on earth? These are prescriptions. I can't really see without them. There's a note of indignation in his voice. Interesting. Those triangle patches on his vest, you have a feeling they mean something, like they're similar to the halogen rectangle on your jacket. What's up with the triangles? I was with the emergency relief brigade, you know, after the People's Pile disaster. Had to take pyrohydrogen for radiation sickness. That's what you were hinting at just now, wasn't it? It must have been tough, radioactive cleanup. There's a reason why everyone's tried to forget any of it ever happened, and why no one has tried to repair or replace the pile. So much disappointment and early deaths, cancer mostly, and we know all that was coming. Even as we were cleaning up the best we could. Whose fault was it that the generator failed? No one's, everyone's. A bunch of poor people built themselves a primitive nuclear reactor hoping for the best. What do you think is going to happen? The People's Pile? What's that? A bad idea. Some poor leftist built a particle decay generator in hopes of bringing affordable electricity to underserved community. It malfunctioned, radioactive waste everywhere, probably some of it in you too. We were all an all-volunteer force, self-organized, tried to help fire brigades contain the spill. I lived by the river since I was a small boy. I didn't have the heart to let it all go to shit without trying to do something to help out. There wasn't much the volunteer force could do, however, we wasted years in the river mud, years getting sick. How'd you end up running a pawn shop? The cleanup happened 15 years ago. I was young then. Later, my second aunt died, left me the shack and a sort of junk in it. So I came to Martinez. People told me, don't go there, it's a shithole. I said, people, we just had a nuclear pile meltdown. I'm gonna get as far from Farbong as I can. Still in the same city. But, thanks. Like theory more than story. Outward movement, not vortices. Care to share your polyhedron with me? Have you tried it before? It's almost like he's worried for you. He won't be your narc, but he won't be thrilled about this either. I haven't, but don't worry, I can take it. If you say so. Here you go, man. He presents a large cap-shaped object on the palm of his hand, very odd looking. Thanks, man. Maybe shady-looking guys came in here yesterday looking like they'd just taken off their Wild Pines overalls. They asked me if I had a police weapon to sell, and I told them I already sold it. They went their way, it was a trip, but you know, all sorts of people come here asking for all sorts of things. Maybe Claire really is tracking down your gun. People as oglinacious as Everett seems like they've been lying even when they're really being truthful. We'd like to sell these hubcaps. Yes, these are very, very good. Did you defraud some foreign prince from them? Jump a Mesk banger? No matter, I'll give you 200 bucks. No one was defrauded or jumped, I assured you. Of course, I meant no offense. 200 bucks. Delightful doing business. Do come again. Thank you. Anything else you're thinking of selling? On his handkerchief. Bizarre scientific news from Ravachol West today, where a police officer's shit has been observed at a pressure of around 495 gigadecimals. These metallic hydrogen levels of shit togetherness were thought to exist only at the center of collapsing stars, not law officials. It remains to be seen how long the shit singularity lasts. I did it. I got my shit together. As you breathe in, the odor comes over you. It's a spell of the mind telling you to run, and your stomach to wring itself empty. With your hands at your side and your eyes squinting, you stand in it. Do they always do that? They do after 7 days, yes. We're deep in the decomposition here. Oh, Jesus. Well. Thanks for watching.